I'm so nervous. She's killing out there. How am I supposed to follow that up? Right. It's just open mic night. But what if nobody laughs? Well, of course you laughed at those stories. You were practically there for it. I don't know. Crap, she's wrapping up. I don't know if I can do this. Do you think there's still time to back out? No, they're calling me up. You're right, just be casual and cool. I'll do my best. Hey folks, thanks for the warm welcome. First night on the mic, so if I pass out from nerves, I promise not to fall on any of you in the front. Glad to be here, glad to be living in this city. It's real nice when you live in the nice parts of it. I didn't always live in an upscale one-bedroom apartment, though. I used to live behind the old factory. See, that's what I love about a local audience. I saw some of you wince just now. You know exactly where I mean. You'd think the factory stink would be the real gripe living there, but no. It's the neighbors. Now, this apartment I lived in, first time living on my own, small studio apartment, it looked like hell. But it was also cheap as hell, because my aunt's ex-boyfriend's brother owned the place and he liked me. Only problem was, he was a terrible landlord. He wasn't even an asshole or anything, he just sucked at running the place. Like, to the point where even paying rent was difficult. Not because I was broke, but because I just couldn't get the money to him. No direct deposit, as that was too futuristic, so the way you'd pay rent was either slipping a check into a locked box in the basement, or handing it to him in cash like a drug dealer. Now, I was a 20-year-old in the modern age. I don't have checks. So the only other option is to pay in cash, right? Only problem is, this guy comes to check on the building like twice a year, so paying rent was mostly theoretical. Like when you hear someone say, "Oh, I'm having trouble paying rent this month," you'd never assume it's because they can't find the guy they're supposed to give the money to. Eventually, he hired a property manager to run the place for him, and the day they took over, they were all over my ass, like, "You're 3 months behind on rent." And I'm like, no. You're 3 months behind on collecting rent. I didn't like the new management, but I can't deny they straightened some things up in there, because before they showed up, the neighbors. See, I was getting to them. I had 2 upstairs neighbors that were real characters. And like, what's the typical upstairs neighbor problem? Noise, right? For some reason, every person who's ever lived on a second floor is really into tap dancing. So yeah, it was noise. Not the noise you'd think, though. It was the sound of running water. I thought I was going crazy, until the water started leaking through my ceiling. So I call the landlord, he calls his handyman, guy takes a look at the new water-eroded hole in my ceiling and goes, "Yep, that's coming from upstairs." So he goes upstairs, I'm waiting there, and the water noise stops, for the first time in days. Guy comes back down, says, "Yeah, check the apartment upstairs, every faucet was running." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, that was causing condensation in the pipes." And I'm like, "No, why the fuck were all the faucets running?" Turns out, lady upstairs was real mad at the landlord, guess she couldn't pay her rent either, and since water was included, she decided to run all of her faucets to up his water bill. So I mean, compared to her, the people who kept throwing shit out their window were downright pleasant. Why were they throwing shit out the window? I will never know, and it still haunts me to this day. And this wasn't a one-time event. I'd get it if a space heater caught fire and they had to jettison that thing. No, I'd be home, relaxing on the couch. That was also my bed. Studio apartment life. And I'd catch a glimpse of something out of the corner of my eye. Was it a bird? No, it was my neighbors throwing shit out the window again. I mean, it is easier than having to go out to the dumpster. And they'd throw out anything, clothes still on the hangers, shoes, books. One time I came home and there was a whole ass guitar amp just sitting on the front lawn. Now I don't know if they were the ones who threw that guitar amp there, but I can make an educated guess. I can make educated decisions too, which is why I don't live there anymore. Thanks, you guys have been great. Have a good night. Oh my god. How'd I do? Yeah, but did it look like they were really laughing, or were they just being polite? You think it was for real? The end bit was kind of weak, though. Right. Just take the win. Thanks for cheering me on, babe. I don't know. Do you think I should sign up for the next open mic night? I mean, I kind of want to. Yeah, it's not like I don't have more material. I'm thinking the story about that time at the eye doctor. I'll write it down later. Let's watch the rest of the performers without worrying about my routine now. I love you too, sweetie. Thanks for encouraging me to do this. Yeah, here's something hella unfortunate. I was like, oh yes, of course, I'm gonna record all 3 of these scripts today. That's no problem. Then, like fucking 5 minutes ago, they start doing construction immediately above me. Would have loved to get a warning about this. Like, ever.